Hey guys, today I'm going to do an ocean pour using the double dirty landscape technique. I like to fuss around with what colors I'm going to use, and I'm only partially ready because my cameraman keeps saying, let's go. So this is what we're going to do. Not totally ready, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Here we go.
You're never completely ready. It just becomes your turn.
Huh? Okay. So let me show you what I have going on here. I've got a 12 by 12 canvas, which is the one I use most for demos. It's just a really nice size. I have different golds for one side of the pour. And then I have some blues here that I'm going to create a dirty pour out of. One thing that's really nice about blue is there's a lot of different kinds of blue. So it works really good if you want to stay in one family of colors. Blue is always a great choice, and you can't go too wrong, because if you mix, say, purple and orange, you're going to come out with something horrible. Blue, you can hardly ever go wrong. So I'm making a dirty pour right now. This is the ocean side of this pour. And if you like these colors I'm using, we'll find out at the end. I'm going to list them in the description. I'm using Nova paint today, Nova Color brand paint today. And I have silicone in each of the colors, a few drops, say 7-8 drops in each color. Now, cells aren't my main objective today, but I put the silicone in there anyway because often it does some interesting things. So there is my dirty pour. These are 10-ounce cups, but they're not full because I'm going to be pouring both of these at once. So this is plenty of paint. This is my double dirty landscape pour technique that I thought of a few months back. It's kind of fun because I'm going to pour both at once. I'm saving a little in each cup. This looks like plenty. Now I'm going to start tilting to get some coverage. My idea here is where the ocean meets the sand. Obviously the gold is the sand color, but I have something set aside to create some waves here in a minute. It's a little different than what I normally do. See the cells popping up there in the blue. I want the blue to dominate. So I'm going to let this run a little bit, have more blue, less sand, but I'm going to tilt it back and forth so this edge will vary a little bit. This is looking very interesting already. The blue is interesting. The gold, not so much at this point, but when it dries, gold starts to show the iridescence and the pearlescence of it. Okay. Now, if you notice, there's no white in here. Titanium white always wants to sink to the bottom. I want my white to show up because, again, if this is an ocean, I like some foam, some places where the water meets the sand. So what I'm going to do here today, instead of white, I have a sparkling pearl that I'm going to try to create some whitish breakers, whatever you call it, where the ocean meets the sand. And I was going to see if this sparkling pearl would stay on top a little better than the titanium white. And then I also have blue pearl. This is a Nova Color Interference. It hardly looks like anything now, but when it dries, it'll have sort of a blue sheen that you can see when you tilt it back and forth. I'm going to use a little bit of that, and then I'm going to tilt a little bit more. I'm going to go into the sand here just a little bit. Now I'm going to tilt and see if I can get this to look a little more natural. See, it's starting to spread a little bit. Now I'm going to go back to make sure the sand doesn't go away completely. Got some chunks in here. I'm going to knock those out. Okay, so I'm going to look at this just for a second. I wipe my hands off because when I start pointing, a lot of times some paint will drip off my hands, and I don't really want that right now. So this is really nice. You got some kind of breaker ocean hitting the beach going on here. The gold is actually starting to look a little more interesting, and it'll really look good when it's dry. I'll put a picture of this in my Instagram when this is dry, and you'll be able to see the iridescence a little better. But what I'm looking at right here is this line is kind of straight. I'm just going to take one of my sticks here and maybe just move it a little bit. It's just a little straight for water. Let it trail off a little bit. There's no rules. If you want to tinker with it, you can. I know sometimes people shout at the video, "Stop!" That's happened to me before. But this, see again, this is a big blob here. I don't want to tilt it anymore. So I just want to make this look a little more natural. And I want this to kind of trail off the edge of the painting so it looks like it goes on and on beyond the canvas. So far I'm liking this pearl, this sparkling pearl. It's staying on top. It's not sinking down below the blue. I'm just looking here. You got the sparkling pearl here, and you got this blue pearl here, which is, it looks slightly different. You may not be able to see it in the video, but I guarantee you when this is dry, this is going to look really cool. I'm starting to see the iridescent edges kind of spread just a little bit. I don't think I'm going to use a torch on this. Sometimes if you want some more cells to come up, you might try the torch. I usually try to get something without a torch, not for any particular reason other than it seems like what happens naturally quite often is good, preferable. So, okay, what else can I do here? Maybe leave it alone. So you have to know when to stop. So this is very beautiful. This gives you the impression of the ocean hitting the sand. So I'm going to stop. And I will post a picture of this when it's dry. There's some more little cells coming up. This won't change a lot because the mixture I use stays put pretty good. If your mixture is too watery, then it may fall apart. But I've sort of learned to adjust my mixture where once I pour it and tilt it, it pretty much stays. So there's the ocean. I hope you'll go pour an ocean today. It's such a universal thing. Everybody loves water. Fluid painting is just a perfect thing to express the ocean with. So keep pouring. Let's go. Have fun, and we'll see you next time.